here, a chance to get a berth in the title game. Where does that message kind of fit into what you're telling your team this week?
Well, we're just still trying to prepare, Gene. You know, I mean, like I've always said, these guys are way smarter than me, and so they know that how big this game is for our program. And so our main focus is just on our preparation for ECU and get ready for them. The implications of the game are obvious, but if we don't win, it doesn't matter. So just trying to just prepare.
And we talked about on the conference call about injuries. Where anything change on that front as far as guys who might be available or not?
Calvin will probably be back. Dyson will probably be back. Who else? Josiah Powell, looks doubtful. And Carmona will be back too.
Can you talk about being so different from the rest of this league, that a league in which almost every offense is spread offense being optioned? Do you think that gives you an advantage? Or it's kind of interesting how everybody in the league is the same. You'd think that there'd be more teams that are a little bit different just as...
Yeah, I guess we're kind of used to it. Wags just playing people that are different than us. I guess being in the league, you see all these teams together, but pretty much when we're independent, we're the option team. Everybody else was throwing the ball all over the place, and so you kind of get used to it. A lot of potent offenses. I don't think anybody's going to change to our offense. I'm sure they're happy with what they're doing, but it is unique that you got a lot of high-powered offenses, but it's the way everybody plays now. It's everybody spreading the ball around, and everybody running RPOs. Some people call it RPOs. Some people say run pass tags, whatever you call it. A lot of people do that.
So do you think that this is one way that you can combat a league like this? You say it's so hard on defenses. Well, one great way to play defense is to have the ball. Do you think this is one way that you all can play defense against these spread offenses?
It's definitely our formula. Just, not too many people see what we do. They say they practice for us, but, it's different with your scout team doing it. And so you see it once a year, and you can practice all you want. Air Force and Army and us play good against each other, but we also go against each other all spring and all fall camp. And this is what we do. And so it's so unique, and it's an advantage for us, and we got to continue to use that to our advantage.
Ken, I know it's always 1-0 every week. Do you have to remind the team of that when you're facing an opponent that may not have a record that they would like, as opposed to playing Houston or Notre Dame?
We've gone with the same approach every week, Gene. Yeah. Just get ready for this game, move on from the last one. I think guys recognize how big the game is, Gene, and so we're just trying to do our best to just stay in that mantra, not to get too far ahead. But you're probably right. When you're playing Houston, maybe people are thinking about it. But this is a good team. Coach Montgomery, they've had a brutal schedule. Yeah. The schedule they had is unbelievable. And so, and we're still the Naval Academy. We just got to come ready to play.
I put my crack research staff to work, and Will Worth actually has better stats than Keenan through 9 games. Last year, Keenan's rushing yards were about 35 more than what Will has at 9 games, but Will has a lot more passing yards. Would you have ever guessed that?
Like I said, I thought Ricky Dobbs was the best quarterback, since I've been here. Then Keenan came, and I thought he took the mantle, and what Will's done is phenomenal right now. And he's playing awesome. He's playing every week. He's doing great things, and so really happy for the kid.
Would you like to you have not played a backup quarterback since Tago went down. Would you like to get a guy in there so you can see what a backup can do?
I just want to get the W. Just, we'll let our main thing is try to, whatever it takes to get the W, and, kind of go from there.
Okay. Thank you, Ken.
Foremost, East Carolina, one thing that this team has not had any problem doing is moving the ball and scoring points.
Yeah, just sound like a broken record. It's every week. They're super on offense. Really good wide receivers, good running back, a couple good quarterbacks. They have a number 11 that comes in and runs the ball a little bit more, but he was a quarterback, so he can throw. Real good speed. O-line is solid. They're a good football team. We see it every week.
Well, I was going to ask you about the quarterbacks because they've used 2 in the last couple of games. You just got to prepare for both?
Yeah, and the 2 that have been trading the most are they don't really change much for one or the other. Why they're trading them, I'm not sure. the number 11 that comes in, he's a little bit more of a wildcat guy. But they bring him in a lot of situations. I mean, he'll come in at running back. He'll come in as a wideout. He'll come in, really, really good speed. He's just kind of an all-around player.
This receiver, Zay Jones, he's about to become the all-time leader NCAA FBS catches for career. He's going to break the guy Hardy that was there before, who's in the NFL now. What do you? I hear he's getting double and triple teamed, and still catches 12 balls.
Yeah, he's got great hands. He runs tremendous routes, really good speed. So yeah, he's a problem by himself, and they've got 3 or 4 other ones too. So we're just going to have to play really on point and focused, and that's our only chance.
Talking about this league and these crazy offenses, I mean, you're looking at having to deal with this now moving forward. Do you sense that someone's going to come up with a magic bullet in college football that answers the spread offenses? Usually in the NFL, when someone comes up with a really good offense that works, like they're doing the read option, and within a year they'd figured the read option out and it didn't work so well. Do you think there's a magic bullet coming that's going to stop these spread offenses?
Well, the thing about it is when someone finds an answer for one thing, they come up with something different. So it's constantly morphing itself. Like you said, the zone read was the big deal. Nobody knew how to stop it. Now everybody's seen it enough and played it enough that they can play it, but now they've moved on to something different. So it's, they morph, and hopefully we morph. It seems like offenses are always a step ahead, though. So, it'll all catch up to itself eventually.
Obviously, one thing in this league is that most times you have 2 spread offenses going against each other, trying to go fast, trying to score fast, going up, and that's part of why it's track meet. Do you think it helps your defense that your offense is a little bit different, likes to try to hold the ball, maybe move the ball downfield a little bit slower? Does that help you?
There's no question about it. I mean, if they had 3 or 4 more possessions, who knows? And I've said it before, our best defense is our offense. Ivan does a tremendous job of controlling the ball and scoring. So, I don't know what the thing is, but for 3 or 4 straight weeks, they've scored 40 points. So, not only are they holding the ball, but they're also scoring, which again, gives us a chance to go out there and try to get a couple of stops and, be where we are.
Well, it's like in the last 2 games, Notre Dame and Tulsa, you didn't have to send your defense back out there at the end of the game because the offense killed the clock.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, it makes a tremendous difference. There's the more possessions they get, the more points they put up. So that we control the ball. And again, if we can get them out of rhythm a little bit, that helps us because they'll stop doing one thing or another. And, now we can focus on one area instead of having to play both run and pass all the time. So,
Micah Thomas was saying after the game the other day that as a defensive guy, it pains him to look up and see 40 points, knowing that they gave up 500 yards. How do you try to instill some positives when you come back on Sunday, Monday, and tell your defense, We just have to go back to work. I mean, it's kind of the offenses of today. Now, am I happy about it? Absolutely not. So we just go back to work and try to keep figuring out answers that will help us. So, that's all you can do. Right. Okay, thanks, Dale. Okay. Well, I just did some research, and through 9 games, you actually have better statistics than Keenan Reynolds did through 9 games. Your rushing is about even, but you've thrown more passing yards than Keenan. Would you ever have thought that you put up better numbers than Keenan Reynolds did his senior year?
I never would have expected that, and I haven't really thought about that at all. I don't really know what the stats look like. We're just worried about winning this game and getting to the conference championship.
Well, I was going to ask you a little bit about how in this league you've got these spread offenses that like to go up and down the field at breakneck speed. How much do you think what you all do offensively is, kind of helps in that you're different than any other team in this league for the most part?
I think it definitely throws defenses and entire teams off pace a little bit, just to be able to control the clock and keep the ball out of their offense's hands. They can't score as quickly or as much as they want to if we don't give them the ball back. So I think it's something that definitely throws them off pace a little bit, and can only help.
Do you sense out on the field that maybe the opposing, and I know you're not on defense, but do you think the opposing offenses get frustrated standing on the sidelines, waiting, when are we going to get back out there? Because usually when they play games, they're out there every few minutes going.
Definitely, I think it gets them out of their rhythm a little bit, and then, the defenses are on the field longer too, so it has that advantage for us as well.
All right, thanks, Will.